Welcome, everyone. Excuse me, a little frog in my throat. My name's Teri Bybee, and I'm the founder of Women Who Risk. And I'm so excited about this interview series because it's all about these women leaders who are taking joyful risks in their lives or their careers. And so I am so excited today to be talking to Lashonda Brown, and she is going to share a little bit about her experiences. Lashonda is someone that I met through the holistic community, a wonderful person that has all kinds of wonderful wisdom to share, and she's going to share it today with us in this interview. So, Lashonda, tell us a little bit about your background, your title, your work.
Yes. So right now I own a holistic wellness business. So I do quantum energy healing, body talk, body intuitive, and some other magical stuff, and an equine-assisted life coach through uh the Institute for Equus Coaches. So I am a coach for leaders as well as a natural healer and intuitive. Um, I educate people, educate and speak life into them and watch them heal holistically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually.
Beautiful. So, again, excited to hear what you're going to share with us. So, let's get right into joyful risk. What
Mm.
inspired you to take joyful risks in your career?
My heart. So
Mhm.
I have a really strong belief that everybody is uniquely and divinely made to be here to offer their specific gifts that they came to earth to do. And I call that soul truth. And
Mhm.
in honoring and following your soul truth feels light and joyful in the body in a neutral way. And so that alone in this chaotic world is like, how do you do that? It takes risk, it takes courage, it takes tenacity, it takes all the things to stand in your truth and not get distracted by all of the noise that we all hear, be it energetically, be it through our emotions, through other people's blood pressures or whatnot, and how we affect one another. And so to be able to teach someone how to know that you're in your own energy and what it looks like and feel like and taste like, you got to take risks. It's a risk to actually kind of look crazy to do that, So it's a risk to just honor that truth, honor the truth of your senses, honor the truth of what does that look like and how do you get paid for your gifts? How do you get paid for being authentically you? How do you show up at getting being authentically you? What is it? What is that? And so it's a risk to do that without getting the veil, we take on and off our social selves and all the time. And it takes really take risks to be aware of who you are and to live it out loud.
I love the thought of your soul truth and the fact that we do have to take risks. Just as we were chatting just a little bit before we got started, things can get intense, and it doesn't mean it's bad, but there's so much
Yes.
going on in our worlds, in the world around us. So
Mhm.
that does affect us internally, physically, mentally, emotionally. So yeah, I love the idea of the bringing to light someone's soul truth. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you think about your career and or your life in this case, what is one of the most significant risks you've taken?
Mm. Yes. Oh, wow. So there's several, but the biggest one was to leave my job while being married with a child
Mm.
because I knew it wasn't in alignment with my truth. Being the pretty much the heavier breadwinner in the household too. So it kind of was like, I know my truth. I want to follow my truth. Yes, there's practical means in doing that, and you got to do it smart. But jumping to say, hey, I'm going full-fledged healer full-fledged building this practice, blah, blah, blah,
Mm,
knowing that my family could be affected by it, but I had 100% confidence that it would be successful because I was divinely aligned with God's
mm.
purpose for me. And so it was a win-win.
So what would you say was the outcome of that risk, and what were the breakthroughs you experienced?
So that opened up a whole can of worms of really authentically aligning with your soul truth. Also, may end up in ending the marriage
Mm,
at the same time. So the invitation at the time was truth, soul truth, being a vessel. And so the marriage ended after that.
mm,
But it was just one of those things. Your journey is yours, regardless. And so the invitation of uh was wide. So I don't even know what
mm.
to say.
That's all right.
When
So what?
change comes about, when you choose you, it becomes a rolling ball. At least in my experience, it became a rolling ball of change to
Mm,
choose you, to choose me.
mm.
And so it was scary. Life changed and I aged backwards. I
Oh,
lost weight. I felt great. I
mm,
mean, I gained friends. The joy from here was great. So it was just an honoring of it and that risk. It took risk.
right. So what would you say was the breakthrough
Yeah.
with all the things that you'd shared?
The breakthrough was my joy.
Mm,
The breakthrough was my joy and having access to that joy. Knowing that it was possible because inside of the job and inside of the marriage, I didn't know it was possible.
right.
It's a lot of obligation energy there. And
Mm,
so the breakthrough was me following my truth, my soul truth, my essence, my healing in my body, in my mind. So the breakthrough was aging backwards because that right there was a sign that I was in the wrong place because I was aging faster.
right.
And so, and yes, and so that was almost 10 years ago. So in 8 months, I'll be 50.
Mm,
And just imagine, like, I'll often think about, like, if I was to choose to stay inside of something that was not my truth, how old, how much pain I would be inside of, how many more wrinkles would I have, how many more grays will I have, and how much medication would I be on? Different things like that that affect you when you are in the wrong, not the wrong, backspace delete, when you are in a misaligned place.
mm. Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I notice in commenting on just what you've shared is as we do get in alignment with what is ours truly to do, some people hold back from that because of, I'm going to call it fallout, the
Yeah.
fallout. And that has to do with, and if we are open to, right,
Mhm.
the as we raise our vibration, as we change our energy because we're getting more and more in alignment with what our soul truth is. I love that term. I'm going to use it a lot. Uh, that then starts pushing out those energies that no longer align. And so
Yes.
things do fall away. Things that are not part of this aligned journey, break up, break out, break away. Right. So that's exactly what you were talking about. And I think that if anybody thinks about the joyful risks they take or have taken, the risk is also realizing things will change
Yes.
and that some things will be gone because they don't fit.
Yep.
So
Courage.
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I just get really happy about that because it took courage to say yes.
Mm,
And what did you say yes to, Lashonda? Was me.
right.
Unenslaving the slaves concept around the life that we live. I don't know. So,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you? All right. So one of the things I wanted to ask is, was there another memorable, let me get my tongue untied, memorable experience where taking a risk did lead through a breakthrough or to a success other than what you've just explained?
That's so interesting question. So I'm thinking,
You said you had several
I, I
different
know,
risks you've
and I
taken.
keep thinking that so all of the risks, I didn't know. Hmm, okay.
What's coming up?
So I had to go way, way, way back to when I was like
Okay.
21, 22 years old, 20, yeah, 22, 23. And because the question was there any risk that I've taken that did not turn out well? Basically, is what I heard.
It could
So,
be, yes.
yeah, yes. I got married way too early and I moved away from home. And so it was very scary. I took the risk and it was not a really optimal situation. And so I didn't come back home. Um because I stuck it out because I didn't want to look like a failure. I didn't want to look like,
Hmm.
oh my God, she doesn't know what she's doing, or oh my goodness, she's always quitting at something. She never completes anything. So, staying inside of that drama, inside was an internal drama, but it was externally and physically debilitating at times. And I was in my early 20s. And so I ended up with a stomach full of bleeding ulcers. So the risk that I took turned out to do something magical, which turned out not that wasn't so magical and didn't honor that. And so I got sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
that was before I started the spiritual journey as well. So it was before then. I was like more Christian-y, which is nothing wrong with it. It was just definitely a different belief structure.
right. Well, and I think that it's important to really point out that we get signals when
Mhm.
things aren't in alignment,
100%.
whether that's, physical ailments, whether that is depression, emotional fallout, whether that is, shoot, getting stuck on that circle in our heads of negative self-talk,
Mm-hmm.
which of course affects everything else,
Yes.
all of it being interrelated. So to have the courage to pay attention,
Mm-hmm.
and we can call that our intuition, but our system signals. And so remembering, listening,
Mm-hmm.
knowing when it's time to take that risk of, okay, first listening and then taking action, right?
Yep.
So yeah, big things
Yeah.
to consider.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing you mentioned was kind of the external expectations placed on
Mm-hmm.
you, whether it's societal, whether
Yes.
it's familial,
Mm-hmm.
but those things that make us start wondering, are we worthy? Are we enough? Are we failures? All those things that, in truth, going back to that soul truth, is not even a thing, right? We are divinely led, we are divinely gifted, we are divinely brought in, and we carry the divine within us. So to remember those things, not enough, not worthy, failures, none of that exists if we can really tap in. And of course, we're human, right? So we are going to have those moments of, I'll just call them weakness,
Mm-hmm.
where we buy in.
Yeah.
It's the more and more we align, though, the less that happens, and or the briefer, right, those moments. So
Absolutely.
definitely have opportunities to make those shifts.
Absolutely.
we have to be the witness of our own lives
Mhm.
and forget what anybody else might be. Whatever other people are thinking, it's their business, right? Not ours.
Yes. At any age, fairly young, how many people get stuck in the loop of satisfying family, social and economical and societal norms. It's just not it's just not, it's so deafening.
Right, right. So, how do you overcome the feelings of self doubt or fear when these risk opportunities come up?
Trust.
Mm.
Yeah, trusting the knowing, trusting my internal guidance, trusting God inside of that, um, and taking those steps, one turtle step at a time. You know, it doesn't have to be a leap, just a trust in each big toe touching the ground and keeping going. It's just that simple, even no matter how fast or how slow, it's just take the next step
Right.
and be kind and grateful in it.
To yourself as well as to all those around us, right?
First to yourself, because that makes a difference.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. Self love, self acceptance, self compassion, all
Mhm.
those things are so important. And, you talk about taking a step. And one of the things that I often talk to people about is that even a small step forward is letting the universe know, letting God know, letting, whatever higher purpose you
Mhm.
tap into, letting them know you're way past the just thinking about it, talking about it, you're ready to take action. And it builds the momentum. Even small steps start to build the momentum, and you get the response from the universe, from the divine of, oh, you're serious, you're
Yeah.
ready,
And it gets
let's
better
help
and
you.
better.
Yeah.
It just gets better and better with every minute yes to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yes to yourself. Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So knowing that we are, especially as I think, especially as women, men too, I'm sure,
Yeah.
we're so busy, there's so much going on. How do you balance the risk taking and your responsibilities in personal life?
It's scary. So the balancing is in the trust that well, my meditation teacher just talked about it yesterday, and he was saying, um, align with your vision. And as you align with your vision, no matter how you feel, always go back and ask, does that emotion that I'm feeling aligning with my vision? Is that action that I'm inside of or taking align with my vision? And I'm like, yes. Are those thoughts aligning with my vision? And so for me, the balance is that self-contemplation. The balance is for me to like check in, like, oh wow, I'm feeling contracted. What is that? Being able to identify what am I inside of and being a witness of me witnessing me and my emotional state, my thoughts, and then how it's guiding my actions. And I have to be honest, lately it hasn't been so good.
Mhm.
And it always falls off when my meditation falls off. It always falls off when I'm fearing money, survival, uh, and start looking for external validation. So reeling it back in. And that's what I loved about having support, and having that community of support or people to call on, people to check on you and check in on you, even when you think you checking in with yourself and not allowing you to cocoon. So community,
Mhm.
a daily practice of meditation or some type of spiritual awareness and trust.
Yes.
Trust. It's hard to
Mhm.
trust sometimes. I'm single. And
Mhm.
so paying and being all of it for yourself, with yourself,
Mhm.
and trying to and being inside of an interesting, unique practice, it takes trust. So,
Right. Circling back to trust. Yeah. And one of the things that drives these interviews that I'm doing is creating the community, is creating the support system
yeah.
for, especially for women, because,
Mhm.
I'm all about changing the world for women and getting insights from those that have taken the risks, that have blossomed from the risks, I think is so important, especially for there's just a lot of women that have an opportunity to do that for themselves that have not yet. And so getting these words of wisdom out is so important to
Yeah,
me and I think to our community.
I will say, I agree. And for me, I'm in a sweet spot. My daughter's 26 years old. And I will tell you, just like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, when she was up close and more personal in my life, and not that she's not that far away, but where they rely on you to be emotionally stable, they rely on you to for guidance, they rely on you to be a healthy human and be there for them, either financially or emotionally, spiritually, or physically, just touch them or hold them, and finding the balance far as women when she was younger, it's just to really like, how can I make this little human be better? You know, while taking care of myself.
Right.
She said to me, because she was a witness of our family, of course. She's like, Mother, you know what I think? And this was maybe like 6 years ago. She says, I think, no, maybe 8 years ago. What saved your life was you choosing to meditate.
Mm,
And I was like, because it was really hard going through the divorce, I was
right.
like, huh, they watch everything you do. They watch everything. But seeing the heart expansion gave her access to knowing that heart expansion and happiness was possible in a place of peace, and finding that balance of work, school, um, family, stuff like that. It takes intentional intention to be like, yo, I am going to the prayer room. I am choosing to do the things that help me feel better so I could be a healthy human for this little one, So it's hard. It takes intention.
Right. And I think you speak really true to the fact of we have to have our own solid foundation, which is a lot of that is the self care on every level, physical,
Yeah.
mental, emotional, spiritual, to be able to then help to create a foundation for our loved ones, and or taking it kind of outside of the family perspective, to be able to be a mentor for
Mhm.
other people, especially other women. We have to make space for ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to fill the well to be able to then, right,
Yeah.
nourish others from that well.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
not be afraid of not looking perfect.
Right. Well, that's part of the journey and it's part of the story. And as a recovering perfectionist, that was hard. That
Yeah.
was so hard because I put myself in a box because I
Hmm.
was afraid to do anything new because I didn't know how to do it and do it perfectly.
Yeah.
So, here I am later in life. I think there's probably a lot on our team, on our recovering team, right?
Yes.
That it is so important for us to get the message out and to do it really authentically, which is with all of our baggage, our fail forwards,
Yeah.
all of that, right? To be really real.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, thinking about how we are communicating and wanting to really support our community, especially a community of women, what do women of the world need to hear right now about taking risks?
The greatest thing you could do for yourself is to choose you. Be your own advocate. Be your number one advocate. The fear is like an illusion. It is 100% an illusion. And if you choose to continually just scratch at it, allow it to be a ring on your finger or a necklace, wear it any type of way you choose to, you are dying just a little bit every time. So have the courage, just take it off. I mean, just take that turtle step towards you.
Mhm.
And in the reaction of those people around you with those proper boundaries,
Mhm.
they will fall away. And it's okay. Let them fall away. Let those things that suck you dry fall away. Be it person, place, thing, whatever, job,
Mhm.
person, place, or thing. Let it fall away and trust. There's something delicious on the side, on the other side of that,
Mhm.
with every moment that you choose you. Um, I've always thought, like, how can I get this message out? Like, because that's a perfect question without seeming like you're like sociopathic or just selfish or whatever. God gave you a thing to come to earth with. And people are temporary and has the choice to change their mind at any moment. So
Mhm.
do you give yourself permission to be free from the things that bind you from your truth and have you contracted sick and on type of medication? Be
Right.
free because you don't have to do that.
Right.
Martyrism is days that are over. It's not many people that are God. I don't feel like God bringing to earth to be a martyr.
Right.
You have gifts, and those gifts, every time you don't share it, there's someone else that is suffering from because of it in some way. Yeah, there's multiple choices or whatnot. Someone is asking and waiting for your deliciousness.
Mhm. Yeah.
So say yes. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That's
Oh, oh,
that's it.
beautiful. And I
But that's
think,
kind of like the I think that's the invitation.
Mhm.
We get kind of stuck in what do you call it? Brene Brown talks about belonging, and it happens in families. It happens in the expectation of, get married, have children, go on, get married, have children, and blah, 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 blah. No, you don't have to do any of the social acceptable things. You could just be you, do you. And because there is something about that creates truth. And I always take people back to the trees, the birds and the bees and the grass, like nature. If we were to just learn from how those interconnections work, you don't have to justify being a tree because you are that. Or
Yeah.
the bird, the animals. And so this is something that within Equus coaching, using the horse as a co-facilitator in a
Mhm.
coaching session, it's a beautiful thing to see congruency come through the horse
Mhm.
to the human to show them how they're out of congruence from their soul truth because they're inside of living a comfortable life. And I'm like, wow, nature taught you that because nature is truth and you are nature. What would you do if you were that horse? What would you do if you was that tree in honoring yourself?
Right.
That
Yes.
they don't worry about hurting anybody's feelings. I mean, of course, be mindful and
Right. Right. We have that
kind
choice.
as
Yeah.
a human. But so that's kind of how I look at things and inviting another human, be it woman, male, child, whatever, into their truth is to, what would you do if you had a magic wand and you waved it and you were able to live out that truth with no fear of who is around and who you percept the perception of loss? You don't have,
Mhm.
it's just a perception. Yes, it's real to our human brains. At the same time, maybe you're gaining so much more.
Right. I think that's kind of one of the most important pieces that you're sharing, in that we tend to forget that when we have a letting go, or like you termed it, a loss. Something is,
Mhm.
again, doesn't fit our aligned vibration, so it falls away. What that does is it opens space and invites in all the things that do fit with that aligned soul truth that
Yeah.
will build it up, the people, the places, the events, the opportunities.
Mhm.
Sometimes you got to make space for it, and that is the letting go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you don't even have to have ice cream afterwards because it's
But you can. You
but
can
you
if you
can.
want.
You can.
So, how do you see the role of joyful risk taking evolving for women in leadership for the future?
How do I see it? I don't, that's a good question. How do I see it? It starts with you. It starts with me. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody's starting one at a time to show people what is possible. The
Mm-hmm.
awareness of what is possible makes things a little bit less scary, even though it's going to be scary. I think it's possible, one person at a time. You share your gift of allowing people to see, hey, there is something possible beyond where you are. It can be joyful in taking this risk. And
Yeah,
that joy is specific to you, no matter what that looks like. At the same time, take the risk.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, so important that, and my possibilities and my joyful risk is going to be different from yours because,
Yes.
again, that back to that, what you said early on, that unique journey, that unique perspective that we came onto this earth to bring forward.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, talking about the future, so what vision is pulling you forward to your next joyful risk?
Oh,
What's glimmering for you?
yeah. Mm. I have, I'm in awe because my child, my seed, my love of my life, uh, I feel and see us working together on a joint venture that is going to speak to thousands of people's lives in the holistic sector of things, from mind, body, spirit healing to speaking to influencing. I'm excited. That has me excited. Um, I think without her, sometimes I wonder where would I be?
Mm.
you know, because it hasn't been easy taking risk because I choose myself a lot. But it's still scary at each moment in the world where you have to survive or where you choose to survive. So, um, that's the next venture is to build this whole magical experience with her. And we're grown. She's a grown woman creating magic in the world right now. And I'm like inspired. I see me in her with less fear, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
beautiful. So there's that strong foundation you created for her.
Yeah. And now she's like, no, mother, don't give up. Come on, because life gets hard. You get
Right.
older, you get menopausal. But it's like, it's like, and it's, I'm like, oh, she listened.
Mm.
And now she's like, come on, let's go. Let's do this.
That is
And
beautiful.
and it's in the same realm that I've always been speaking for the past, ever since I found my voice.
Mm.
So I don't know, over 12 years or so. And so really like speaking into what it looks like. My brand is love and soul truth, love and soul truth. And I look back at some of my old branding and I still go back to the same thing. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And so it's real for me. And to see her like stepping in to that and having someone to work beside with the same values, it makes belonging so personal.
Mm.
because it's right here. It's like tangible, it's touchable, it's just it's my seed. And sometimes I don't know what to do with it sometimes, but it's just like that's it. We are working together and it's only gonna get better.
That gave me chills. It did.
It always, me too. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, she has lots of energy. So I went through, I'm menopause.
Mhm.
And so it really wreaked havoc on my body over the last 8 years. And so, ugh, um, to where I wanted to give up. So taking a risk to get up and not give up is
Mhm.
a joyful risk sometimes every day. So yeah. So
Yeah,
that's the little twinkle that's going on. It's just
that
like,
is so cool.
yeah.
And we obviously we look forward to, following your journey and being perhaps part of this
Yes.
unfolding. So wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Any last thoughts you want to share around yourself, joyful risk, what's coming, anything like that?
Thank you for offering your gifts and this heartfelt like topic. It's a topic, but it's also an invitation. It's like,
Mm.
yo, girls, let's do this, you know? Let's do it. You have support. Let's build this community. Let's expand on it, so on and so forth. It takes one person with the courage to speak out, and you are doing it. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And with that, just that beautiful sentiment, we'll close this particular circle. And again, looking forward to touching base at some future
Yeah.
time in the not too distant future, I'm sure. And thank you once again for sharing your words of wisdom and your life with us.
Yes.